open. Um, Hi again. So we have our server all up and running, and we've got our DNS open because I'm going to show you before you actually configure the server. You need to have your DNS all set up, and we're going to use Route 53 for this. So here you see we have the hosted zone set up for the domain, subdomain charm.i.ng, and we have an A record for very.charm.i.ng, and an MX record for very.charm.i.ing. Why do we need two of them? We need the A record is for regular lookup of the server. Say if you had a web server on it, so it would use the DNS. When you type in very.charm.i.ng, it would know, oh, I look up that number 34.23.232.151.146. Now, when you send an email to a server, it uses a totally different method, and that's called an MX record. The MX record is one of those things that goes way back to the very beginning of the internet, and people would have different servers for different things. You might have heard that the internet could withstand an ICBM nuclear explosion. This is what it means. It doesn't mean the World Wide Web, because that was created years after they said that. What it means is with the email servers, because you can have several email servers as backups. So you can have like one in California and one in Seoul, wherever you want. So the number, the higher the number, the lower the number, the more important it is. So we're just going to use 10, and we're going to only have one of them. So the MX record is going to have 10 space very.charm.i.ng, and it's going to have an MX record. All right, and the A record is very simple. That's the default. Okay, if you're not using subdomain, just leave this blank. Over here, you leave it blank. Write the IP address here, and then you'll use, if you'd like, the same, you'll refer to that A record over here, you refer to it, and you'll put the number 10 in front of it. This is all explained in the directions, which you can find at charmingcloud.net. Okay, so now you see we have this IP address. This IP address is refers to an elastic IP address, which we have already prepared. You'll need to make a new one. When you make a new one, so here's our instance. We see you might have several of them, so you should remember like the instance ID and all that kind of stuff. So now we have the elastic IPs. If you don't have one, you're going to do allocate new address, and it's just going to create it for you, and then you'll go back to this window, and you're going to right click on it, and you're going to press associate address. Since we have only one, it's pretty simple, but you can, if you have a bunch, you can do by instance, by network interface, by private IP address. But we just have one, so we're not going to really make a mistake. If you put a note in the first column of the EC2, it'll show up here, so you can remember if you have a bunch of them. So we're just going to do attached now. I think it's below my picture. Look at that. Associate. Okay. So now we'll put the picture